The movie opens up by showing you a small town in South Carolina, named Wilson. Everyone was living happily there, but one night, a small mass transit falls from the sky in the forest of that area. No one knew what it is because it was so small in size. There lived a man named Grant. He was very rich. He appeared to be old, but he married a young lady named Starla. We see them having a bad conversation one night. Grant gets angry and leaves the house. He then goes to a bar where he meets a girl named Brenda. Welcome to Review Recapped. Appreciate our efforts by subscribing and turning on the notifications, please. It means a lot. Spoilers ahead. Enjoy. They drink the whole night. Later they head towards the forest. Then suddenly, Grant sees that mass transit, which fell in that forest. He wanted to know what it is. He goes near it and looks at it. A small needle emerges from it and inserts itself into Grant's chest. He falls due to the pain. Brenda, who stood behind her, sees this and gets scared. The thing that was inserted in her chest goes to her mind through her chest. Right after it, Grant wakes up and his eyes and nose start bleeding. He was observing his surroundings strangely. It seemed clear that Grant's condition is not good. They both go to their houses after this incident. Many changes started taking place in Grant after that. It's morning now. Starla comes to Grant. She was guilty of the fight. She asks for his apology. After it, Starla leaves, and Grant starts doing weird stuff. First of all, he goes to the market and brings a lot of meat home. Coming home, he acts weirdly. He kills his dog. Later he goes to his basement and locks its door so that no one can come. Starla gets to know that he has locked the basement. She asks, "Why did you do that?" To which he replies, "I'm arranging a birthday party for you." Grant's body was under the control of aliens. They were controlling his mind. Changes could be observed in Grant's body. Especially the place where that needle was inserted. The skin was getting damaged from there. 2 weird tentacles came out of his chest which looked like snakes. From the day this happened to him, he wanted to make his wife Starla like him. But he doesn't do this. It shows he still has some humanity left in him. Later, we see that Grant goes to that girl's house, whom he met that night. He starts inserting both of his tentacles into her belly. As a result, liquid of aliens enters her body. This was so painful, she was in discomfort. Grant's condition was deteriorating. His face started to swell weirdly. When Starla sees it, she asks him to go to the doctor. Grant thinks that he is stung by bees. He imagines it as if he has met his doctor just now. But this was not the situation. He kept killing animals in that neighborhood, and they continued to fade away. The possible explanation for that is that when he impacted Brenda, he inserted innumerable alien yolks into her tummy via tentacles. Brenda's hormones were deeply offended, causing various changes in her body. As a result, she started feeling hungry. Here, we observe that this is the reason why Grant brought meat from the market. He killed all the dogs there because his hunger was growing immensely, which was now uncontrollable. She kept eating. Police get the wind of this news. They get the report that Brenda is missing from her home, and on a doubt basis, they go to her home. They tell the whole story to Starla. Starla didn't know anything. Even she didn't know that she is living with an alien for the past few days. After it, the police leave from there. She realizes this when Grant comes in front of her. He wasn't looking like a human. He seemed a weird creature. She gets scared and calls the police in a state of scariness. While she was calling the police, Grant attacks her. He tries to kill her and says that you're a deceiver. At the same time, the police reach there. As Grant sees them, he runs away. Police couldn't understand which type of creature he was. Later, the police in charge of the town tries to solve this matter. Here, they get to know that Grant is behind the disappearance of those animals. He steals these animals. During the investigation, Bill gets to know about the house which will be his next prey. That house resident's name was Otis. He was the father of 3 daughters and a wife. He had an elder daughter named Kylie. Bill declares that he is certain that he will attack this house. Later, he and his companions surround him in that farmhouse and start guarding that place. Grant arrives there to hunt animals, as they assumed. He wasn't looking like a human but a monster. They are quite surprised. What is this thing? He kills his prey. After this, Bill and his companions surround him and were about to catch him. Grant had completely changed and looked dangerous. He attacks one of the men and divides his body into 2. He runs away after killing that man. Police couldn't do anything at that time because he was so strong and dangerous. It happened with Grant because an alien insect was inside his brain that made his condition like this. He runs to the farmhouse where he had captivated Brenda. Police chase them too. They get amazed and shocked by what they see. Brenda had swollen like a balloon and looked like a strange creature. Because she had eaten a lot and, strangely, Her hunger was not subsiding. As they come inside, Brenda gets blasted. Brenda was wildly hungry because the eggs of that alien were in her belly. As she explodes, these insects spread all around in numerous numbers. They are alien insects and they attack them. These insects just try to go into the mouth. They try to control the human mind by entering the mouth just like they possessed Grant's mind. Bill and Starla cover their mouths and they are saved from them. Those insects spread all around, even in the farmhouse which was owned by that man. They enter the mouth of Mr. Otis and his all family members except for his daughter Kylie. Because as it was entering her mouth, she saves her life by pulling it out of her mouth. Here, we get to know that those aliens possess the human brain and make them lost in their imagination, and the human feels the thoughts of that alien. Here, Kylie was also trapped in their imagination. She knows the purpose behind the arrival of these aliens and from where did they come. When she gets out of her imagination, she sees that her parents and her sisters have gotten killed by aliens as well. They try to affect Kylie too, but somehow, she runs away to save her life. She goes outside and Bill holds her. They see that the aliens are spread around in huge numbers. They were making humans like them by entering their bodies. Insect in Grant's mind was the source of these aliens, and all other aliens were his small parts. They couldn't do anything for their protection due to the late night. Later, Kylie tells them that I know from where did these aliens come. And ways to vanish them. If we kill Grant, these aliens will get killed automatically. And if we don't stop them, they'll keep growing. Bill plans to kill Grant after this. In this movie, Grant is also named as Long One because his hands and feet were too long. With time, he was increasing his size more. Starla was still in Grant's heart. He still had a love for her wife in his heart. Later, all of the escapees, including Starla, are involved in an accident. Grant brings Starla along with him to his house. He lays her down on the bed. She was faint. He does her makeover and tries to make her more beautiful. When she becomes conscious, she sees that she is laying down on a bed in her house. When she looks around, she sees that everything is damaged. She sees many people calling her by her name. He was none other than Grant in the people's bodies, whom he had made his prey. Starla comes down and sees a huge and dangerous monster in front of her. It is spread all around. He took up a lot of space in the house because he had many people inside his body. All those aliens had the same brain. Starla had a sharp-edged tool made of metal because she wants to kill Grant. Later, Grant tries to kill her. As he comes close to her, Starla puts him into a sweet conversation and slowly gets closer to him. She says to Grant, "I'll always stay with you." Hearing this, he becomes relaxed. When she takes notice of this, she attacks her head. But nothing occurs because Grant has matured so potently. Regarding that, he tries to kill Starla. He nears her, but Bill comes at the exact moment. He tries to kill him but he fails. Grant takes out his both tentacles. He inserts one tentacle in Bill's belly. But it only works when both of the tentacles enter the human body at the same time. Bill grabs the other tentacle and puts a lot of gas in it through a gas cylinder. As a result, a lot of gas enters Grant's body. In the end we see that Starla shoots him, which causes a huge explosion. It causes much fire, due to which an insect in his mind, which was a real source, gets killed. As Grant dies, all the people who had that insect in their minds are also killed with him. This incident took many lives. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.